the hype and the heartbreak. The NBA draft is a time of hope and anticipation. Franchises select young players they believe will become superstars, reshape their futures, and lead them to championship glory. Yet, for all the hype, the draft can also be a gamble. Some picks live up to their potential, while others fall flat, leaving fans and executives to wonder, what if? This script explores some of the NBA's most infamous draft busts, examining the stories of Sam Bowie, Darko Miličić, and others who, despite their talent and promise, failed to meet expectation. What went wrong? Were these players victims of circumstances, injuries, or poor scouting? Let's dive into the world of missed opportunities and lessons learned from these cautionary tales. Sam Bowie, the legend of What If? In the 1984 NBA draft, the Portland Trail Blazers selected Sam Bowie with the second overall pick, passing on Michael Jordan, who was picked third by the Chicago Bulls. This decision has become one of the most talked-about moments in sports history. The context: Bowie was a 7 feet 1 inch center with incredible potential. At the time, the Blazers already had a young, dynamic shooting guard in Clyde Drexler, so they prioritized size and interior presence. Injuries had plagued Bowie during his college career at Kentucky, but Portland bet on his upside. The outcome: Bowie's career was marred by injuries, limiting him to 511 games over 10 seasons. While he showed flashes of brilliance, he could never stay consistently healthy. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan became arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, leading the Bulls to 6 championships and redefining the sport. Legacy: the selection of Bowie over Jordan has become the ultimate what-if scenario, overshadowing the Blazers' intentions and the bad luck that followed. It remains a cautionary tale about the risks of prioritizing positional needs over generational talent. Darko Miličić, the mystery of the 2003 draft. The 2003 NBA draft is considered one of the greatest in history, featuring LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh. Yet, with the second overall pick, the Detroit Pistons selected Serbian big man Darko Miličić, bypassing 3 future Hall of Famers. The context: Darko was a 7-footer with a rare blend of size, skill, and potential. His performances in Europe had scouts salivating, and many believed he could become a dominant force in the NBA. The Pistons, fresh off a successful season, had the luxury of drafting for the future rather than immediate need. The outcome: Darko never found his footing in the NBA. Despite being part of the Pistons' 2004 championship team, he played a minimal role and struggled to develop in a system that prioritized defense and veteran leadership. Over his 10-year career, Darko averaged just 6 points and 4.2 rebounds per game. Legacy: Darko's selection remains a sore point for Pistons fans, especially given the success of Carmelo Anthony, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh, who were all selected after him. His story highlights the challenges of evaluating international talent and the risks of prioritizing potential over proven collegiate stars. Other infamous draft busts. While Bowie and Miličić are the most talked about, they're far from alone. Here are other notable draft busts that left fans shaking their heads. Anthony Bennett, 2013, number 1 overall. Team: Cleveland Cavaliers. What happened? Bennett's selection shocked the NBA world. Known as a versatile forward, he struggled from day one, averaging just 4.4 points per game in his career. Injuries and lack of conditioning derailed his potential. Who was available? Giannis Antetokounmpo, Victor Oladipo, and C.J. McCollum. Kwame Brown, 2001, number 1 overall. Team: Washington Wizards. What happened? As the first high school player to go number 1 overall, expectations were sky high. Brown struggled with confidence and consistency, becoming a solid but unspectacular role player. Who was available? Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, and Joe Johnson. Hasheem Thabeet, 2009, number 2 overall. Team: Memphis Grizzlies. What happened? Drafted as a defensive anchor, Thabeet couldn't adapt to the speed and skill of the NBA. He played in just 224 games and spent much of his career in the G League. Who was available? James Harden, Stephen Curry, and DeMar DeRozan. Johnny Flynn, 2009, number 6 overall. Team: Minnesota Timberwolves. What happened? Flynn was drafted 1 pick ahead of Stephen Curry. While Flynn had a solid rookie season, injuries and inconsistency ended his career prematurely. Who was available? Stephen Curry, DeMar DeRozan, and Drew Holiday. Why do draft busts happen? Draft busts occur for a variety of reasons. Here are some common factors that contribute to these disappointing outcomes. Injuries. Bowie and Bennett are examples of players whose bodies betrayed their talent, cutting short their potential. Overestimated potential. Scouts often fall in love with a player's upside, overlooking flaws that become glaring at the professional level, e.g., Miličić and the beat. Fit with team. A player's success often depends on the system they're drafted into. Darko, for instance, struggled in a Piston system that didn't prioritize player development. Pressure and confidence. High draft picks face enormous pressure to succeed. Kwame Brown's struggles with confidence illustrate how mental toughness can make or break a career. Drafting for need versus talent. Teams often prioritize positional needs over overall talent, leading to missed opportunities. The selection of Bowie over Jordan exemplifies this dilemma. Lessons learned from draft bust. Draft bust, while disappointing, offer valuable lessons for teams, scouts, and fans alike. Thorough scouting matters. Teams must evaluate not just physical talent, but also a player's mental makeup and ability to adapt to the NBA game. Fit and development are crucial. A player's environment can significantly impact their trajectory. The right coaching and system can unlock potential, while the wrong fit can stifle growth. Embrace risk wisely. Taking risks is part of the draft, but teams must weigh potential upside against proven talent. Patience with young players. Some players take time to develop. Rushing them into high-pressure situations can hinder their growth. Adapt to changing landscapes. As the global game evolves, teams must adapt their scouting processes to account for international talent and shifting trends. The legacy of draft bust. The stories of Sam Bowie, Darko Miličić, and others remind us that the NBA draft is far from an exact science. For every franchise-changing superstar, there's a cautionary tale of what could have been. These moments shape the history of the league, serving as both lessons and reminders of the unpredictable nature of talent evaluation. While the term bust carries a negative connotation, it also highlights the immense pressure these young athletes face. For teams, the challenge lies in learning from past mistakes and striving to make smarter decisions in the future. For fans, it's a reminder to cherish the superstars who do emerge, knowing how slim the odds can be. Draft busts may be a source of frustration for franchises and their supporters, but they are also an integral part of the NBA's rich tapestry. They are the cautionary tales that make draft day successes all the more rewarding, and their stories continue to intrigue and educate basketball enthusiasts around the globe.